So there was a feature that our friend the Walking Cat found out about called Home Hub. He found a reference to it in some code for Windows 10 a while back. And of course, when everybody heard that, people started thinking immediately, oh, this is what Microsoft's going to do like the Echo, right? Like Home Hub. Okay. But that is not what the Home Hub was. And the Walking Cat even found that out later. He said, oh, you know what this is? It's more like Family Center. It's more like a desktop thing for sharing your accounts and your apps and your music with your family members. But people still kept calling it something like a Cortana Cube. Like people kept saying, no, that it's going to be hardware. They're going to announce it on October 29th. It's going to be a thing. And that didn't happen, of course. But then we're finding out more about what Home Hub is now. And Windows Central wrote something last week that was interesting. They were talking about Home Hub and how it would be kind of the central sharing capability that Microsoft will fill out over the different versions of Windows 10 as they evolve. So there may not be a lot of this in Creators Update, but maybe by the time of Redstone 3, there'll be more, and they're going to keep adding more and more features to make it easier to do things like share calendars with family members, share your music, share shared subscriptions. It'll be almost like your refrigerator door in a way, like everybody's calendar's there and you can see what the family's doing, photos of, that people want to share and such. So that's the kind of the big overarching concept for this. But how it evolves and what form it takes and when it all comes to market is something we don't really know so far. But if you hear about Home Hub, that's what that is.
Incredible waste of time is what this is. What you just described as a future product in the end of 2016 is a non-event. And that's what really bugs me about Microsoft, that this kind of half-hearted, maybe in some future version of Windows, we're going to add a feature, like to a computer, because that's how people access this stuff. People access this stuff with their voices. There needs to be a device. This needs to be all over your home. It needs to be in integrated and embedded devices. It needs to be in your door ringer and in your, washing machine. And I just don't understand. I feel like Amazon, inexplicably, but Amazon has taken the home market for this stuff. And between them, Siri and Google Now, whatever they're calling it these days on mobile, they dominate there. And so Microsoft is falling back on like the one market where they still see some success, the PC market. But this is the thing that doesn't matter in the home. Nobody goes running back to their home office to talk to their computer, and nobody puts a computer in their kitchen. Again, not literally, folks. Not literally.
I'll be honest, I find I don't talk to the computer at all, ever.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I know. That's the trick, right? Because Cortana is very central to what this is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if it's a PC experience, then, like Paul's saying,
will people use it? This is misguided. Microsoft has an opportunity to have this be around the house. They are on video game consoles.
That's what is magic
They're on mobile.
Yeah, right. About the
It needs to be
Echo.
everywhere,
You're not talking to the Echo, you're talking to your house.
By the way, the other thing about this that really strikes the wrong chord with me is one of the big complaints about the Echo and about the Google Home device now that has come out is that it has to be tied to an account. So if it's tied to your account, I could just walk up and say stuff to it. I could add reminders to your calendar. I could change the music playlist it's playing. These things have no sense of who individuals are. And so now here we have Microsoft with one of the most powerful enterprise-class operating systems on Earth, and they're working to make it stupider so that they have an above-the-LX screen experience where anyone can add reminders and do all this dumb stuff I just described.
But don't you think?
It is astonishing to me.
I think they must think they can solve that issue, because if they don't, then it's not even going to work, right?
I think it's 2016 and they haven't solved it, so it's too late. And this is Windows Phone again. This is the Microsoft Band again. This is just them belatedly chasing after something that's popular somewhere else, half-assing it, and then they're going to get out of the market in a couple of years. And I find that to be very frustrating.
Well,
I don't understand what's going on.
Hold on, Eeyore. Hold on.
Whoa!
All right.